when I'm trotting on Samba, I'm supposed to keep my upper body back. And this is the video that I was looking at where I was so surprised that I wasn't more leaned back over her rump. I thought I was really sprawling backwards on her rump. And to my surprise, I'm just pretty much straight up and down here, and even still a little bit pitched forward at times. So this is kind of interesting to see. Um, and here I'm learning about how to try to steer her at the trot. With all the bumping around, I don't seem to be making myself as clear to her when I want her to do turn in and move out. So the circle is kind of all over the place. But I don't want to keep stopping her and discourage her from trotting. I'll just let her go and make mistakes and try to clean them up later when things kind of settle down. But I think my hands look like they're a little too far apart, especially when she starts to go a little bit faster and a little bit bumpier. My hands tend to go up and kind of bounce around like pump handles. There, I'd lean forward and my arms look stiff. Now this is on a different day. She's being a rock star as usual. She does kind of speed up a little bit here and there, and that's when I tend to get stiff and pitch forward again, like right there. Ugh. Oh, those hands look awful. It looks like my elbows were actually pulling back. But look at this awesome stop. That was very nice. And on this occasion, my husband is filming and he's giving me little pointers here and there on what I need to be doing. So I'm trying to keep her on a small circle here and keep it as even as possible. When she starts to get kind of bumpy and feels out of control, I ask her to walk. And she'll walk for a few strides, and then she wants to go again. So that's good.
Are you leaning back?
There, my husband was trying to remind me about leaning back. And I have to admit, I wasn't thinking about that in that moment. I was kind of pitching forward again. There's those hands out in front of me bouncing around. As I
Putting
went,
weight in your stirrups?
as I kept going, things did tend to get a little bit better. You had said something about keeping more of my weight in my stirrups rather than just letting all my weight be on my bottom, plopping around. And I noticed when I start out, my feet were pretty flat, and as the session went on, I was able to get a little bit more weight into my stirrups, and you can see that my heels are actually down. So, yeah. So I'm trying to take up a little bit of that weight in the stirrups and not just let it bounce on our back. I'm a very timid rider. I know it. She's not doing anything to be scary or out of control, but I still feel like that. I'm such a chicken shit. Anyway, so I feel like I am getting better, though. I'm gaining confidence as I continue to do this, and that's probably the only thing that's going to help me get better is just to keep on practicing and just keep doing it until it's second nature. I've already grown so much and gained so much confidence in the saddle over the past year that I've been taking lessons. This is so worth it. Samba is such a good girl. I used to think she was such a diva and a brat, but she's really taking care of me. I'm trying to keep her on a really tiny circle now, and it's too small because she's not able to trot very easily. But I just had to experiment and see how that would go. I thought if she could really start stepping under herself more, maybe that would help even out the trot, keep her more balanced so she didn't have to keep starting and stopping. But it actually makes the problem worse because she's not able to stay on a circle that small. So we kind of drift outward and make the circle a little bigger here. She's just trying to deal with my weight and figure out what she's supposed to be doing. And that was all very good. She does a walk transition very easily without throwing her head up. So what I'm trying to do with Prairie is just to get him on his natural circle. Stepping under himself, crossing over his hind legs and his front legs. And I want to try to get the proper contact that causes him to reach his head down the way Samba does. And I really like his attitude in this particular session. If I reward him really clearly when he's done something good and try to avoid corrections too much, I just tend to get frustrated with him and I vent my frustration on him. And that just causes him to tune out. So I've got to be a better person and not take it out on him when I'm frustrated. And then he'll stay with me. He won't tune out. He'll continue to listen. He'll continue to try. And I think he's getting better. I've got him on a pretty small circle here. I think perhaps the reason he sometimes gets confused about the fake move out is because of this circle, and I'm not doing a clear turn in with him. They all kind of smoosh together. So he says, am I supposed to just walk straight forward with my head cocked? Is that what I'm supposed to do? And I'm also looking for the natural circle under saddle. So we're doing a lot of move out. We're doing turn ins. We're kind of trying to zero in on the size of the circle where he can step under himself and yet move his legs freely and have a speedier walk rather than this slow motion toe drag he always does. I think we're on about the right size circle, maybe just a little bit bigger. And if we go around enough, maybe he'll start to swing his legs more. I'm liking the way he's stepping under himself here, though. You can see that he has a certain concentration about him, like he's really trying to figure out what I want. And he came to a nice stop. The front legs are square. And the front legs are square there. This is a pretty nice turn in. If all he had to do to do a perfect halt was to put his forelegs in the right spot, he's got it.